Good evening, everyone. I would just like to thank you all for coming to listen tonight. For starters, I wanted to let you all know some basic information about myself so that you can better understand where I'm coming from as I speak. My name is VictoriaKate Evans, and I currently attend the University of West Georgia, and I've really lived in Georgia my whole entire life. Growing up, one could say I had a relatively easy childhood. My parents were always together, they had a very healthy marriage, and they served in churches the majority of their marriage, which meant for me, my childhood was centered around family and Jesus Christ. My parents, along with my 3 other siblings and I, grew up in a really small town called Sylvania, Georgia. And small town living for the majority of the time was very fun. Everyone knew everyone. There was one middle school, one elementary school, one high school. It was just a really peaceful place to be. It was like it was one giant family. Also, my family and I lived on the main street in the town. So that meant that everything happening, the parades, the rodeos, they were all very close by. So my family and I got to experience those things together. But just like any other thing in life, there was definitely a downside to living in a small town. I grew up as a pastor's kid, so that meant that everyone had unrealistic expectations for my life, and those expectations were not always met. Also, another negative thing, everyone knew everyone's business, whether you wanted them to or not. Since everyone was so close, gossip spread very quickly, and that was not always easy. But since I was so close to my family, and since I had a foundation in my faith, I got through those tough times very easily. I would not change a thing about the way that I grew up. I loved the place where I grew up. I loved the people. I loved being so close to my family, and I loved having my faith. It was just a really easy childhood, and I know everyone is not as lucky as me, so I will never take any of that for granted. I would just like to thank you all for coming to listen tonight. I hope you all have a very blessed night. Thank you.